Title: WAMP fined for breaching family violence restraining order. Western Australia's newest MP, Ben Dawkins, has been fined $2,000 and handed a 10-month community-based order for multiple breaches of a family violence restraining order. Despite the prosecution describing the emails he sent as belittling, abusive and petty, Dawkins said his only mistake was pleading guilty. The magistrate rejected Dawkins' request for a spent conviction, stating that he had gone beyond communicating on topics such as finances and used emotionally manipulative language. The MP, who has been expelled from the Labor Party, has no previous criminal record. Property developer apologises, vows to fix design issues in New South Wales South Coast homes after residents complain of leaks. Fraser's Property Australia has apologised to homeowners in Shell Cove, a suburb south of Wollongong, for defects in some of the 3,500 homes being built there. The company says it is working with 12 remedial teams to fix design issues, which have resulted in leaking roofs and facades. Homeowner Chris Maud says is pleased with the work that's being done on his home but is concerned about the disruption caused by the building work. Fraser's acknowledges the program wasn't progressing efficiently enough, and inadequate resources were initially dedicated to the program. Title: Council asks inquest to consider death by misadventure in police shooting case. The council assisting the inquest into the death of 20-year-old Kabir Huddy has requested that his death not be considered a suicide by cop, but rather a death by misadventure. Huddy died of a police gunshot wound after calling emergency services and threatening police with a gun. The inquest was also told that Huddy struggled with mental health issues and made several attempts to take his life. Counsel Peter Longson argued there was not enough evidence to support a finding that Huddy deliberately manufactured a suicide by cop scenario. The inquest is ongoing. Title: Witness claims Chris Dawson warned him to stay away from 16-year-old student. Former teacher Chris Dawson, who is serving a 24-year prison sentence for murdering his first wife Lynette Sims, is on trial for one count of carnal knowledge of a girl aged over 10 and under 17. A witness has claimed to have been accosted by Dawson when he was collecting trolleys in a supermarket's underground car park, where Dawson allegedly told him to stay away from the 16-year-old he was romantically involved with. The complainant, known as AB, claims sexual activity began when she was 16 years old. Dawson, on the other hand, claims it began when AB was older. At Hawaii's Mauna Loa Observatory, CO2 levels have broken a new record. The concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has reached a record high, according to scientists from the Mauna Loa Atmospheric Baseline Observatory. In May 2023, atmospheric CO2 measured an average of 424 parts per million ppm, up 3 ppm from last year. This increase is a direct result of human activity, said NOAA Administrator Rick Spinrad. The upward trend is called the Keeling curve, which has been measured since 1958. Experts warn that we need to make very rapid and significant emissions cuts to combat the disastrous effects of climate change. Whitehaven Coal seeks 9-year extension to Maules Creek mine, David Pocock objects. Whitehaven Coal is seeking permission to extend operations at its Maules Creek mine for 9 years beyond its existing lease period and extract an extra 1 million tons of coal annually. However, the move has drawn criticism from David Pocock, the former Wallaby who protested against the mine's construction almost a decade ago. Pocock says Whitehaven is relying on climate inaction and lacks a credible transition plan to net zero emissions. The mine has also attracted opposition from environmentalists and farmers who claim it poses a significant threat to the region's biodiversity and water resources. Title: Rising interest rates force business owner to take on second job. Mia de Rauch, a business owner from Torquay, Australia, is struggling to manage increasing mortgage repayments and bills due to rising interest rates. Ms. de Rauch, who bought a home a year and a half ago, has seen a $20,000 increase in her mortgage repayments and a $400 increase in utility bills in the past year alone. She has been forced to take on extra work in hospitality in addition to running her video production business, working 10 to 15 extra hours a week. She worries that she will struggle to keep up with rising living costs if inflation doesn't come down. Title: Controversial New South Wales High School merger to be reversed following community backlash. The controversial merger of two high schools in New South Wales, Australia, will be undone after State Education Minister, Prue Car, confirmed that the Griffith and Wade High Schools would be re-established. The Murrumbidgee Regional High School was created in 2019 by the previous government, but parents and staff have spoken out against the decision. A report by the University of New South Wales showed that the merger caused reputational damage to public education while lowering staff morale. The minister is yet to set a timeline for the school split, but consultation with the school community has commenced. Title: How much extra will you pay on your mortgage after the RBA's cash rate increase? The Reserve Bank of Australia (RBA) has raised the cash rate by 0.25% to 4.1%, the highest rate since 2012. This means that variable rate mortgage holders will have to pay more for their home loans. The good news is that our mortgage repayment calculator can help you determine how much extra you'll have to pay each month. While the increase will be higher for long-term loans, the overall amount paid on such loans will still be lower than short-term ones. Contact your lender for additional information on how much they'll charge. Hashtags. Title: Convicted pedophile claims cancer diagnosis prompted asset shed. Convicted pedophile, John Wayne Millward, has claimed he divested his finances and assets because he had terminal cancer. Millward, who was jailed for 4 years for sexually abusing a person in the 1980s, transferred over $800,000 to his former partner on the same day he was sentenced. The survivor, known as Zab, has claimed a $6 million compensation payout from Millward, who has since declared himself bankrupt. A bankruptcy examination hearing was held in the federal court in Hobart as the trustee sought further information about Millward's finances. The court heard evidence of the sale of various art pieces and 2 adjoining properties in Launceston, which contained Millward's art collection valued at $1.75 million. Title: **** Specialist team rescues entangled whale off New South Wales Central Coast. A specialist disentanglement crew has successfully freed a humpback whale off Nora Head on the Central Coast. This comes after another whale was recently entangled off the New South Wales coast. The crew, made up of members from Whale Rescue and Research Organisation ORRCA and the New South Wales National Parks and Wildlife Service, had to assess and release the whale in a safe and systematic manner. Orca's Jessica Fox compared the operation to trying to wrangle a Labrador puppy the size of a bus or car. With a record number of humpback whales migrating along Australia's eastern coastline, more whale entanglements are expected. Title: Australian man who went on drunken rampage in Indonesia freed from jail after compensation deal. An Australian man who was arrested in Indonesia for going on a drunken, naked rampage has been released from jail after reaching a compensation deal with his alleged victim's family. Body Marnie Risby Jones, 23, faced charges of assault and could have been imprisoned for 5 years if found guilty. He apologised for his actions and agreed to pay compensation to the fishermen he attacked. Risby Jones' case was resolved through restorative justice, a system that allows offenders to make amends with their victims. He expressed relief at being released and has plans to return to Indonesia one day. Hashtags. Title: New Zealand takes steps to reduce vaping among young people. New Zealand has introduced a series of measures to help curb vaping among the young, including a ban on the sale of some disposable units and prohibiting the use of enticing names such as cotton candy on products. The changes, led by New Zealand's Health Minister Aisha Verrall, will be phased in over 6 months from August. The government has already banned the sale of tobacco to anyone born after January 1, 2009. Other measures include requiring vapes to have removable or replaceable batteries and restricting sales to new stores at least 300 metres from schools and Maori meeting spaces. Title: Canberra sex workers attacker walks free after court sentencing. A veteran of brothels convicted of rape, choking, and spitting on a sex worker in a Canberra brothel has walked free from court after being sentenced on Tuesday. Joseph Ayoub was given a 2-year and 6-month prison sentence, including charges of rape and common assault. However, as he had already served 19 months in custody, the rest of Ayoub's sentence was suspended and he was issued with a good behavior bond. Ayoub's lawyer claimed his client's extensive experience in brothels led to his cavalier approach and false beliefs about what he was entitled to do. Hashtags. Title: Jordan De Goey suspended for 3 matches after bumping Elijah Hewitt. Collingwood star Jordan De Goey will sit out for 3 matches after the AFL tribunal found him guilty of rough conduct for his bump on West Coast youngster Elijah Hewitt. The incident caused a concussion, sparking debate over the appropriate length of the ban. The AFL Council pushed for a 4-week suspension, while De Goey's representative argued for the minimum ban of 3 weeks. The 3-person jury considered the evidence and settled on the minimum ban. De Goey expressed remorse and concern for Hewitt's well-being, saying that he did not intend to play his footy in a dirty way. Title: Binance founder Changpeng Zhao accused of running web of deception. Description: U.S. regulators have charged Binance founder Changpeng Zhao and his exchange with 13 offenses, including manipulating trading volumes and diverting customer funds. Binance has been under investigation by the Justice Department, and Mr. Zhao has already faced charges from the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission. The allegations come in response to the crypto exchange's towering ambitions, which have challenged regulators to rein in a company that they allege has grown to a colossal size by evading U.S. laws. Binance has responded by saying it intends to defend the platform vigorously. Hashtags. Title: Former FBI agent who spied for Russia dies in prison. Former FBI agent Robert Hanssen, who was sentenced to life in prison without parole after pleading guilty to 15 counts of espionage, has died at the age of 79. Hanssen divulged classified national security information to the Soviet Union and later Russia in exchange for over $1.4 million in cash, bank funds, diamonds, and Rolex watches. He was partly responsible for the deaths of at least 3 Soviet officers who were working for U.S. intelligence and executed after being exposed. Hanssen's story was made into a movie titled Breach in 2007. The FBI has been notified of his death. Title: Rising talent Alessandro Sacchetti to represent the Socceroos against Argentina. Australia's rising status in world football is evident as 19-year-old Parma defender, Alessandro Sacchetti, commits his international allegiance to the Socceroos. He is joined by Melbourne City goalkeeper Tom Glover in Graham Arnold's squad for next week's friendly against Argentina in Beijing. Sacchetti, who was previously approached by Italy, decided to play for Australia. Arnold is confident that other dual-eligible players, including Mo Toure and Christian Volpato, will follow Sacchetti's lead. The game against Argentina will be a great opportunity for Australia to showcase its talent and potential. The absence of experienced players is a chance for the younger ones to step up. Vanuatu to present security treaty with Australia to Parliament before year-end. Vanuatu will present a security treaty with Australia to its parliament before the end of this year. The treaty, signed in December 2022, has been under scrutiny by Vanuatu's National Security Council. The security deal with Australia will include military, policing and cyber security cooperation. The move comes as China strengthens its presence in the Pacific Island nations, with Beijing striking a security pact with Solomon Islands in 2022. Papua New Guinea had earlier delayed signing a security treaty with Australia as it considered the impact on its sovereignty. Title: Prince Harry confronts tabloid publisher in court. Prince Harry has given evidence against Mirror Group Newspapers (MGN) and accused the tabloid publisher of phone hacking and other unlawful activities. The Duke of Sussex is part of a lawsuit brought by 100 other individuals against MGN, which include the Daily Mirror, Sunday Mirror, and Sunday People. Harry has accused the tabloid press of destroying his adolescence and later relationships. This marks the first time a senior royal has appeared in court in more than 100 years. The case will continue for a total of 7 weeks. Astrud Gilberto, singer of The Girl from Ipanema, dead at 83. Brazilian singer Astrud Gilberto, known for her English-language cameo on The Girl from Ipanema, has passed away at the age of 83. Gilberto became an overnight success in 1964 with the release of the classic bossa nova album Gets Gilberto, which featured her then-husband, singer-songwriter-guitarist João Gilberto, and saxophonist Stan Getz. The Girl from Ipanema won a Grammy in 1965 for Record of the Year, and Gilberto received nominations for Best New Artist and Best Vocal Performance. Gilberto released 8 albums with songs in English and Portuguese and was awarded a Latin Grammy for Lifetime Achievement in 2008.